Okay. Hello, students. Very good evening. Let me continue my lecture on poetics, and this is my seventh lecture. So, in the previous lecture, I have stopped where Aristotle was discussing regarding the plot and its construction. We have stopped there, and what are the concepts that Aristotle deals regarding the plot we have seen. So, let me share my screen now. Now, I hope the screen is visible to you. So let us refresh our mind memory regarding the plot. These are the significant aspects of plot that Aristotle discusses in his Poetics. One is construction, unity and length, episodes, probability and necessity, conviction, the unities of time and place. So these are the significant aspects that Aristotle deals in his Poetics. Now, regarding the construction of the plot, I have given you a preliminary idea of what Aristotle has stated in his Poetics. So, this is right. Like he says, a good plot should have a good beginning, a good middle, and an end. And I have also stated how the difference between the story and plot is important to understand what is a plot, because for stories beginnings and ends are arbitrary, as Foster has already stated. This I have explained what is the meaning of arbitrary. So moreover, it is believed that stories are always there in the tradition or culture. So stories poets or tragedians or dramatists will take the stories from the culture or the society, and they will make the plots. So that is why Aristotle emphasizes that the beginning and the end are matters within the poet's control. So uh, they are not in the hands of what you call because of the story, but they are only because of the skill of the poet that the poet can make the beginning. So here we have some exposition, some examples also. Before that, let us see. The beginning is that which is not itself necessarily after anything else. This is what Aristotle says in chapter 7. See, the emphasis here, as Humphrey House states in his lectures, is on the word necessarily. So you might be thinking now, the beginning means where the plot should begin. See, for this beginning, there are no rules that are set strictly that a plot should begin here or there, etc. I will give you one familiar example, that is of Mahanati, the movie of which you are all very familiar. All of you know that Mahanati is the biopic of Mahanati Savitri, and you might have seen that movie also. If not, you can just watch and see how the beginning is made very impressive. Actually, the beginning is not the beginning of the story of Savitri. The story of Savitri, of course, if you want to begin, you will begin it with the birth of Savitri. But if you see the movie where the plot is made in such a way that the movie begins only a few days before the death of the actress Savitri. So you can imagine beginning almost at the ending how the writer of the story or the director of the movie have made a very impressive beginning of the plot, because the plot can begin anywhere, and it need not be after anything necessarily. No, it is to emphasize that it need not be after anything else. So this is actually in technical terms called as the beginning is called as what you call exposition. See here, as the slide is showing, the beginning is the exposition of further progress of the plot. So at the looking up, viewing the drama. Previously in Greek days, it is audience looking at the beginning of the drama will understand how the play is going to progress. As we also watching a movie nowadays will try to guess how the story is going to, or how the plot is going to progress. So I say that the word necessarily is very much emphasized because the poet need not think about the knowledge of the audience about the antecedents of the beginning of plot. So here we have the example of the tragic drama King Oedipus or Oedipus Rex. It is also called as Oedipus Rex or King Oedipus. Here, actually, Aristotle says that Sophocles, when he wrote this drama, has given a good example for an ideal construction of plot. He says the play begins with the plague in Thebes and the need to release the city from the plague by the discovery and punishment of the guilty man. And then the play processes is the process of the play's process is the process of the discovery, its end, the punishment. Actually, before, the beginning moment of this drama King Oedipus is not the beginning moment of the story of King Oedipus, because before King Oedipus became the king of Thebes, he has a great story. How he was, how when he was born and how his parents, in fear of the prophecy, and made him to kill, and then the soldier who takes who takes this infant baby to the forest feels pity and leaves him in the forest, and then Oedipus has to grow up there and then come back and wage a war, and then one he just seized the Thebes. So this story almost is, to the very end, as I have given this example of Mahanati. But you may think that how will the audience or the readers will have this knowledge of the antecedents? Will it be very effective if without the knowledge of the antecedents, if the dramatist shows these actually, the shows the beginnings of the plot at a very later stage of the story? But here Aristotle argues that that is not at all necessary. And of course, House also supporting Aristotle says that actually, the stories, stories are there always circulated in the culture or the tradition. So everyone knows because the plots are made from the well-known stories in the culture or tradition. In our culture, you can take the examples of Ramayana or Mahabharata and others, where you can, any story from taken from the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata will be very familiar to our culture or tradition. Or if you take the European culture, or where the Christian religion is there, you have, that many moralities, morality plays, etc., were also written based upon the Bible. So if you take the any episode of the Bible, like Noah's Ark or David's imprisonment, or just like that, you need not give all the antecedents that are happened before the flood, the huge flood of Noah's time. So we need not think about these antecedents, because as the stories always circulate and the stories are always alive in, what you call, the stories are alive in the culture and the tradition. They are always there and people always know them. In modern times, so many other writers, have ridiculed this practice of, beginning a plot at a very later time. But whatever it is, we can say that Greek tragedian Sophocles, actually has, made this, but it was a very successful and ideal plot. We can say it is. It can be taken as a very good example of how good plots are constructed. So Sophocles makes his starting point the moment of despair in the Thebans and their king's brave determination to deal with it. The initial situation, that is the plague, the mourning, and the royalty, is given immediately in dramatic terms, and thereafter, each step which Oedipus himself takes provides the occasion for revealing some part of the antecedent knowledge which is necessary to the process of discovery. See, here, these lines are more important because the writer or the poet will exhibit that kind of skill which is necessary to construct the plot as well as revealing the antecedent knowledge or the knowledge of the antecedents as the play progresses. And here exactly what you will find the skill of the poet or the dramatist. So Sophocles is a great tragedian, and Aristotle has taken this example of King Oedipus to show the best construction of the plot. Of course, we need not believe that all Greek plays are such great plays, and all Greek playwrights or dramatists are as great as Sophocles. There may be plays which may not show any skillful presentation of the plot, and we need not think that Aristotle has might have come across all good plays only during his contemporary time, because as I told you earlier also, that Aristotle is exposed to the rich literature or rich dramas of Greek while he was writing, before he, while he was writing his poetics. So you can think that that is not necessary that all plays should begin at a very later time. And of course, with the due course of time, because Aristotle's Poetics is a very ancient text, and ancient dramas used to follow this mode. But with the due course of time, there were many experiments about this method of exposition, and you have a good example in F.L. Lucas' lectures, tragedy. It provides the examples of Shakespeare's plays like Hamlet, Othello, or Tempest also. See how Hamlet, because you are all familiar with Hamlet. In my previous lecture also, I have referred to Hamlet, and you know how Hamlet opens with the ghost scene. Ghost scene is not the beginning of the story. By the time much has happened, yet Shakespeare has taken that scene to open, and we know how it sustains the interest of the audience or the readers, because we will be curiously reading through pages and to find out what happened next, like that. So that is how good plots are constructed, and Aristotle explains this with the example of the Sophocles drama, that is actually Greek Oedipus, King Oedipus. And then it is the second point we have to note here is actually Greek practice was to use an expository soliloquy. You may get a doubt that if a drama is beginning at a very later stage of the story, how people will understand the antecedents? Is there any necessity of understanding the antecedents, etc.? But of course, House argues that there is no necessity of the knowledge of antecedents. But some dramas, followed this system of an expository soliloquy in the prologue. That is the first prologue is like introduction or beginning part of the play, and this prologue is spoken by a major character or a minor character, or by somebody who does not recur again in the play. So this they will actually reveal what happened earlier before the play the plot begins actually. So this is one practice the Greek tragedians or dramatists have followed, but not it is not correct in respect to all the tragedians of Greek, but that practice is there. That is what House states. And The next thing is the beginning normally started later in Greek tragedies. I have not explained this much because we have seen this example in King Oedipus, where the plot opens with the plague in Thebes. But before the plague in Thebes begins, that story of King Oedipus, so much has, progressed, or so much action has taken place already. So it is a good example to show that Greek tragedies normally started very at a later stage. That is usual practice, and this is one we have to understand. And that is the because I have told you in the very beginning lecture itself that whatever literary term or whatever text we are taking to analyze, we have to always keep in mind that we actually or keep in mind the cultural or traditional or literary practices pertaining to that age. So it is a practice in Greek literature that the tragedies usually started later. Okay, so this is regarding the construction of the plot. It is to say that uh, a good plot should have a good beginning, a good middle, and an end. So, what is the beginning? The beginning is not really the beginning. You should, of course, remember this point. The beginnings are made by the poet, and the plot is constructed effectively with the skill of the poet or the dramatist. Then, the second concept regarding the plot that Aristotle actually mentions is regarding unity and length of plot. Actually, a plot should have unity, and also it should have a certain length. Okay, so he's Aristotle. According to Aristotle, a work of art is shaped, limited, and complete in itself, unlike the real life. Because I told you when we were dealing with the difference of a story and a plot, it is like a plot is created, it is the artistic creation, and human life is like a story is like our life. You don't know what will happen, etc., what is the beginning or what may happen in the middle or end. But for the artist or the artist means here the dramatist or the poet, whatever, whomever you may consider, they always consider a work of art as a piece which is very much shaped and limited and complete in itself, and it is unlike the real life, and that is why it should have a certain length, and also it should have unity of action, unity of time, and of course unity of place. The concept of three unities. I hope you all might have remembered now, because you have gone through Preface to Shakespeare of Samuel Johnson, where Johnson emphasizes the concept of three unities, and he also dwells in a lengthy manner how Shakespeare was maintaining these three unities. So, though Aristotle will not mention this. Action, he mentions this unity of time and place here and there. And time is like, they used to say it is like one uh, revolving of the sun. Okay, so that they used to think like that. And previously, as you know, we are dealing with the crude stage, or a very primitive stage where you may not expect all the what you call technicalities of the modern stage or the modern movie, etc. So there were that stage is a very preliminary stage, and whatever was possible within the limits of that existing conditions only, dramatists use it to present plots. Okay, Aristotle, of course, he says it is the plot, the work of art should be limited, shaped, and complete. And also, he emphasizes this concept of unity in different ways throughout poetics. So, he gives a very remarkable idea that the unity of a plot should be like, or the wholeness, unity, or completeness of plot should be like the organic unity of a living creature. See here, organic itself is living, and organic unity. I have given you one more word, that is symmetry. If you look at the tiger or the lion, considering the whole lion or tiger, you may think that it is very beautiful, symmetrical in its arrangements of limbs or heads or length or tail, etc. But if you take each individual part of that tiger or lion, you may not feel that beauty. Okay, and the plot is also like that. So taken together, whatever the action that is included in the plot should be like what you call the very impressive, like the organic unity of a living creature. Not only lion or tiger, you can take the human beings also. If you imagine a human being with a very long, long legs or heavy head, or long hands and short legs, etc. You can, you can imagine also, you can feel, oh, it's very odd. You may just laugh at it, or you may feel very absurd also to look at some, the creatures which are not having this symmetry. So you can take examples of men, women, etc. So if you find any male or female in such a in proportioned manner, not having a proportionate of all the organs of the body, it will be very absurd to look at. And the same is applied by Aristotle to the plot. So he says it should be constructed to be beautiful, like a living creature, and every whole made up of parts must present a certain order in its arrangement of parts. Okay, so the arrangement of parts actually should have an order, and they should be included in the overall structure of the drama in such a way that no part will appear very absurd, or no part will appear that it is not suitable here, or it is not necessary here, etc. So all the parts of the drama, or in a plot, should be taken, or what you say, weaved in such a manner that they should appear that they were weaved in a certain order, and they were arranged in certain method, that on the whole they give us a beautiful what you call plot or a drama. Okay, so the length of the drama always helps to maintain the unity of action. If it is very lengthy, the unity of action may get broken. So if a dramatist should not take very lengthy plots, so that the unity of action will get affected. And see here, the concept of length and unity, they are very connected. To maintain the unity of a drama or a plot, it need not be very lengthy, or it need not be, or it should not be very short also. So it may think that that is why it is called as the organic unity of the what you call living creature. As you can look at a man or a woman or an animal, and looking at the whole of the the whole of the animal, or the man or women, you will feel that he or she is beautiful, or it is beautiful. It means animal, whatever animal or bird, etc. The nature gives them all the organs in such a proportion that they appear very symmetrical and very beautiful when we look at that. So in the similar manner, Aristotle tells that a drama should also have actually a certain length, and which of course assures us the unity of action. And to organize the length of a drama, of course, Aristotle suggests the division of the drama from 2 points of view. One is the speaking actors, and the other is the chorus. Okay, the speaking actors. Regarding the speaking actors, he says, see there, the slide. I am bringing the slide. The speaking actors, he says, and part of the speaking actors, he says, that is the prologue, episodes, and the exode. It is these three parts are for the speaking actors. And for the chorus, the parode and the stasima. These are the parts for the parts of a plot in the chorus, for the chorus. See, what is a parode? The choral song as the chorus moves in after the prologue. So, choral songs are like, if you have the experience of watching the dramas, Surabhi Natakas at any time, you could have heard some, songs in between the drama. It is only to relate some of the action that should take place behind the curtains. Say, for example, if a war scene is there, the whole war scene cannot be shown on the stage. So it will be sung like a song, or some kind of natural calamities. If that has to be shown, or that aspect has to be brought into the minds of the spectators or audience, they will just sing a song with musical aid, musical instruments, etc., so that people, our audience, will understand that this is what has happened behind the curtains. After that, the scene at that stage, or the stage will be decorated in a such a way, or arranged in such a way, so that this is the aftermath of the war scene, or aftermath of the nature calamity, etc. Okay, so this parode is one choral song that is sung after the prologue, the first part of the drama. And stasima is varying numbers of choral songs occurring through the body of the play, dividing one episode from the next. Here, episodes I will discuss in the next lecture, but episode is nothing but our modern act. Okay, plays are having 5 acts, and these acts are divided into, again, scenes, into different scenes, etc. So episodes are like acts only. So immediately after one completion of the one episode, staging of one episode, a stasima will take place. And this differs because one play may have more episodes and the other plays may have less episodes also. That is why these are varying number of choral songs. Okay. Kamos is a lyrical lament in which chorus and one or more characters take part. Lamenting for a bad situation, or a death, or a curse, or a defeat, etc. You may have. So throughout the dramas, the chorus will try to sing the kamos, which is a lyrical lament, and in this, not only chorus, but one or more actors of the drama will take place, or the tragedy will also take place. Next, see, next thing I just want to refer in this uh, part of lecture is episodes. Okay, of course, I said that I will continue the episodes in the next lecture. So let us continue the episodes in the next lecture. Let me stop sharing my screen. In between, it has given so much of trouble. Yet, I hope you are able to go through my screen and read some of the points. Okay, as I have interacted with some of the girl students in the morning, I request all of you to get ready the textbooks. Please do come to the campus and try to gather all the copies of the texts that are prescribed for you. So, because you have decided to stay back from the physical classrooms, I request you all to come and make it a point that you should collect all the texts. And I will be sending assignments topics maybe tomorrow. with the number and the topic, so that you can write the assignments. You can submit the assignments in the soft copies or hard copies, scanned copies also. Or if you can come and submit the hard copies when you come to gather the materials, or Xerox copies, etc., that is also welcome. It is according to your convenience only. And please keep giving us feedback regarding these recorded lectures, whether you are comfortable, or do you need any changes in the pace of delivery, because we may be giving the lecture in an excited manner. We will try to slow down also if you want. So please keep giving the feedback. And I also request you just to go through these lectures not only once. Try to listen it again and again until you catch the point that is being discussed or explained there. Okay. Wish you all the best.